to Beerus. This won't do any good. You know it. Right? This time, we will no longer be made pawns by the gods. You're right. I don't know what happened to this reality's Goku. What incredible power is that? It doesn't even look like it's the true same Lord Goku as before. Son Goku, you had no chance. I always knew that. This is impossible. How did you manage to do this? You will know my true power, Beerus.
Goku! Oh, you've changed a lot! Now your transformation is all blue!
His skin is similar to the skin of the angels. Could it be that he was able to activate his transformation because he finally completely mastered his Ultra Instinct? You're next, Mr. Whis. So that's it. That was the power of the Saiyan of prophecy. That Saiyan who defies and denies all God's decisions. Well done, Mr. Goku. I had already forgotten. In fact, this whole time I just wanted to forget, but I lost them all.
Hey, how's it going? Just here to remind you to click the like button, subscribe here to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss any videos and stay well inside our entire universe of Dragon Ball. Without further ado, let's get started. The Tournament of Power is over, and Goku is recovering after the final battle. Zeno-sama invites him to a special meeting.
Wow, that was an intense battle, but it was worth it. We managed to save our universe.
Goku is surprised when the portal opens before him and Zeno-sama appears. Hello, Goku! I really enjoyed the tournament. It was very exciting.
Zeno-sama, what brings you here? I'm glad you enjoy the tournament.
Goku, ever since I saw you fighting, I've been thinking of something interesting. Have you heard of the gods of destruction?
Well, yes, Beerus is a god of destruction, right? He is incredibly powerful.
Exactly. But did you know that there's always a parallel between the gods of destruction and the Supreme Kais? When a god of destruction dies, the Supreme Kai also dies, and vice versa. It keeps the balance.
Cool, but what's the deal?
Well, Goku, I've been watching you. Your passion for fighting, your strength, and your pure heart. I kept thinking, what if the balance between the gods of destruction and the Supreme Kais was a little different?
Huh? Different how?
What if you, Goku, became Universe 7's new gods of destruction? You would maintain the balance between creation and destruction in a unique way.
Me? A god of destruction? But I love fighting, not destroying things.
Of course, Goku. Remember that being a god of destruction does not mean that you will only destroy. You will also have a responsibility to ensure that the balance is maintained.
This is quite complicated. I need to think about it.
Sure, Goku. You don't have to decide now, just think about it. It would be a unique opportunity to use your strength to protect the universe in a different way.
It's true. I always wanted to protect our universe. I will consider your proposal, Zen-chan.
Great! There's no rush. Just know that you have a unique potential, Goku.
The portal opens again. Thank you, Zen-chan. I'll think about it and talk to my friends too.
See you later, Goku. No matter what you decide, I look forward to seeing you in the future.
The portal closes, leaving Goku brooding over the unique proposition that has been made to him. Goku returns to Earth and decides to discuss Zeno-sama's proposal with Beerus. He meets with Beerus on his planet. Hey, Beerus! Lord Beerus! We need to talk.
Oh, is that you, Goku? What do you want now? I'm not in the mood for jokes.
It's not a joke, Beerus. Mr. Beerus. I had a conversation with Zen-chan and he made me a proposal.
What? A proposal? What is that?
He asked me if I would consider becoming Universe 7's new god of destruction.
What? How dare you do this without consulting me? Does he think he can replace the god of destruction just like that?
Hey, calm down, Beerus. Mr. Beerus. You just asked me. And I said I'd think about it. I didn't make any decisions.
This isn't something you can just think about. Being a god of destruction is a serious responsibility. And you just like to fight. You have no idea what it means to be responsible for balanced destruction.
I know it's an important decision, Mr. Beerus. I wouldn't take it lightly also. But I thought I'd discuss this with you before I do anything.
Discuss? You should have come to me right away. And now what? Will you challenge me for the post of God of Destruction?
What? No, Mr. Beerus. I'm not trying to challenge you. I just wanted to share this with you because I know it affects our universe.
Oh, you think you can just tell me and I'll take it? You're unlucky to be my friend, Goku. Otherwise, I would just be turning you to cosmic dust right now.
I'm not trying to take your place, Mr. Beerus. I'm just trying to understand the full implication of this decision. If you think it's the right thing to do, I'll respect your position.
You have no idea what you're getting into, Goku. Being the god of destruction isn't all power and fights. It is a responsibility beyond your comprehension.
I understand it's a serious responsibility, Mr. Beerus. That's why I'm talking to you before making any final decision.
Do what you want. But know that if you accept this, you and I are going to have some serious fight to decide if you're truly worthy of that title.
I expected nothing less from you, Mr. Beerus. And even if things change, our friendship will never change.
Don't get sentimental. Just get out of here before I change my mind and destroy you and this entire planet.
Right, Mr. Beerus. See you later. Goku leaves the palace, leaving Beerus lost in thought. Meanwhile, Goku knows he has a lot to consider before making a decision that could affect not only his life, but the balance of Universe 7 as well. Daishinkan, the Grand Priest, has a meeting with Zeno-sama to discuss the proposal made to Goku. They are in the Great Priestess Hall.
Your Excellency, I would like to discuss the proposal made to Son Goku. The idea of making him a god of destruction is quite intriguing, but it also raises concerns.
Daishinkan, of course. I'm curious to hear your opinion. Please feel free to share your concerns.
Thank you, Excellency. Goku is an exceptional warrior and has demonstrated impressive skills in countless battles. However, being a god of destruction requires more than just brute strength and the will to fight. Zeno-sama?
Go on, I'm listening.
Being a god of destruction requires a delicate balance between creation and destruction. They must understand the consequences of their action not just on Earth, but throughout the universe. Destruction is a necessary part of the cycle of life, and a god of destruction's role is to ensure that it happens in a balanced way.
You're right, Daishinkan. Goku has a pure spirit and an insatiable desire to fight and overcome challenges, but he also demonstrated compassion and a strong sense of justice.
That is one of the concerns. His compassion and desire to protect may conflict with your role of destroying when necessary. We need to consider whether Goku has the mindset to make tough decisions in the name of balance.
That's true. However, Goku has the ability to overcome himself and learn from the experiences. He has always strived to protect Earth and the universe from greater threats.
But is that enough? We should also consider the dynamic with the current god of destruction, Beerus. The transition of power must be smooth and not cause unnecessary conflicts.
You're right, Daishinkan. The decision cannot be taken lightly. I would talk to Goku again and assess whether he's truly willing to accept this responsibility.
Thank you for considering my concerns, Your Excellency. Our goal is always to ensure harmony in the universes.
Yes, it's true. Let's watch closely and make a decision that's best for Universe 7 and Goku himself.
The discussion between Daishinkan and Zeno-sama reveals the complexity of the proposal to make Goku become a god of destruction. While Goku may be an exceptional fighter, concerns about his mindset and emotional balance are legitimate. The final decision can only be made after careful consideration of the universe-wide implications. Chapter 1: The Legend of the Tailed Brothers. Year 737. Planet Vegeta. Paragus was being held by King Vegeta's men while he begged for his son, Broly, not to be killed. But that didn't seem to have moved him one bit, and after a long time begging for his life and his son, King Vegeta was already gone. Tired of this conversation, before he could shoot a wave of energy at Paragus' chest to pulverize him once and for all, one of the gods appeared and made a proposal to the king. What if the little Saiyan was sent to a planet far from Frieza's vision and also of the planet, so that it would not cause any problems for his reign and yours? Pondering for some time, King Vegeta considered this a possibility he liked, and so he ordered that the little Saiyan be sent to a distant planet, this being one that was considered forgettable. And thus, one of the real scientists who passed by the room told a low-power Saiyan who curiously, although with the fight power of 2, the little Saiyan known as Kakarot managed to make little Broly cry, demonstrating to have a great potential. But of course, continued to be doubted due to the incredibly low fighting power, even for a child Saiyan. And if even then, the little Saiyan died at the hands of the legendary Saiyan, who would even care? And after arguing for a while, King Vegeta ordered the 2 Saiyans to be sent to the planet known as Earth, while he went to Frieza's ship with the troop after knowing what Saiyan Bardock had told everyone. With that, Broly and Kakarot were sent to Earth. But while they were traveling to the planet, Frieza decided to pay Planet Vegeta a visit. Planet Earth. Weeks later, after weeks traveling through the vast northern galaxy, the capsules containing the 2 small Saiyans finally landed on the blue planet. But due to the speed they entered the atmosphere, they end up falling with great force in a place known as
Paozu Mountain, thus making a gigantic rumble next to a huge crater. Not far away, an old man known as Son Gohan heard this noise while tending his garden. So he headed towards the forest, where he thought the noise had come from. After searching among the various bamboo grooves, he found two small ships next to each other, and curious, he went to check what they are. But when he got close, the doors began to open, and from there were revealed two small babies that looked strangely quiet. After judging that there was no problem, he decided to take them to his home before determining their fate. Not long after, Mr. Gohan realized that what he thought was the youngest started to get more aggressive, while the oldest, who although frustrated a lot, especially if the youngest cried, seemed to be much calmer, which more made Gohan believe that he would be the father of the two, even though they are at the same age. After a while, it seemed that the two young people seemed to be liking the old man, but during a walk, the two little ones were being carried in a basket that he was carrying because they were going through a very narrow path. But while everything seemed calm, Kakarot started to tease the Broly. But before they started causing any bigger problems, Broly ended up losing his balance and by reflex took little Kakarot along. And so the two young people fell off the cliff and hit their heads, thus becoming unconscious. Desperate because he thought that his boys had died, he goes to them and notices that they are still breathing, and so he took them home so that he could take care of their injuries, and after days of taking care of them, they finally woke up, but without any memory of what happened to them. And not knowing their names even though he had known them for a considerable time, he decided to name them in honor of his grandparents, and thus Kakarot received the name Son Goku, while Broly was called Son Jingu. And growing up as brothers, Son Gohan knew that although they were two innocent children, they carried power, a power that he could only feel, but without knowing how. But on a certain day, the surprise of seeing how powerful they could be was not so nice. On a full moon night, Goku ended up seeing the full moon outside the house, and that made him turn into a gigantic monkey that attacked whatever was in front of him. Afraid of losing Goku, Gohan tried to control the beast, which unconsciously tried to crush the old man, which would happen if Jingu didn't intervene and hold the great foot of his beast, which made him see his own strength. Looking for a way to contain the beast so that Goku would return to normal before hurting himself or hurting them, Gohan noticed that perhaps their tail would make them turn into these beasts. And gathering some energy he had, he shot a small sphere of energy that was enough to cut off Goku's tail, causing him to immediately return to his normal state and due to the exhaustion, pass out naked on the ground. Jingu and his grandfather took Goku inside, hoping everything would be alright. And when they left him on his bed right after changing him, Jingu started to think that it's better to avoid looking at the moon for fear of causing a problem even bigger. And knowing that this incident would hardly be the last, he decided that he would have to be example by being a younger brother. So while his brother is usually innocent and playful, Jingu has a more caring and serious personality. Years passed, and while Gohan was busy tidying up his house, Goku and Jingu went to catch a fish for lunch, and as they returned, something ended up hitting Goku in the back. And thinking it was a monster wanting his fish, he launched at the sir, while Jingu just watched, and after a few seconds, something comes out of the monster, and that thing was actually a blue-haired girl, very angry because her car was broken. And after things were clarified, Goku and Jingu meet Bulma. After getting to know each other, Bulma tells why she had come to this place. It was to look for a mystical artifact known as the Dragon Ball, and she came to ask if they hadn't found one, and not knowing what they are, they decided to just invite her into the house, and taking the opportunity so that she could meet their grandfather, which Bulma was a little embarrassed at first because she misunderstood the message, because Bulma thought it was like meeting the parents of the beloved, but due to Goku's innocent nature of saying, of course, because that's where the food is, she ends up just accepting it. Even more so with Jingu simply appearing relaxed about a girl walking into his house out of the blue. And when they did, Jingu called his grandfather, saying that a girl had entered, and excited, Gohan decided to get some rolls for the guest, while the two caught the fish from the road. After clearing up everything about the spheres, Gohan decided to give her his sphere after hearing her motive, which was obviously to get a perfect boyfriend, and knowing that it can be dangerous to go looking for them, especially if the legends is true. He suggested that his grandchildren might follow. Hearing this, Goku was excited to have the opportunity to explore the world and maybe face strong guys, and maybe even be the strongest in the world. Meanwhile, Jingo didn't seem as excited as his little brother, because if they were, who would stay to help their grandfather with the housework? And before he could finish everything, Gohan said that it's fine, and that it would be good for them to go, since they were supposed to go with her, explore the world, and even if these spheres are just a legend, they would at least have traveled to other places outside the mountain. And thus, Jingu reluctantly agrees, but on one condition: as soon as the journey ended, they would go home. As the journey in search of the Dragon Balls continued, Goku and Jingu met some friends, like Oolong, who, although he was feared due to his transformation technique, was deceived by Goku pretending to be a lost little girl, and after being defeated by his brothers, he followed the path with them due to the vitamin that Bulma made, which made him have to go to the bathroom all the time for him to say beep. Or Yamcha, who, although his way of meeting them was quite clumsy due to the fact that Goku was starving and Yamcha just wanted to steal them, along with a small scolding fight between Oolong and Puao, ended up with Yamcha being defeated when he tried to attack Goku with a sword, and Jingu stood in front of him and blocked the sword with his arm, breaking it into pieces, which made Yamcha freeze in fear and begged him to be forgiven, and in return offered him to join them in the adventure through the spheres. Even more so because he would like to make a special wish to the dragon, which he didn't reveal to anyone, which made Bulma a little curious about it. And together with friends, they met their grandfather Roshi's master, who gave the two his flying cloud technique because he couldn't use it anymore, and gave Bulma his Dragon Ball in exchange for a light peek. Without it, know how he managed to convince him, and even managed to save Fry Pan Mountain with the help of a new friend called Chi-Chi, who ended up making Goku a promise to her marriage, even though he didn't know what that was. But also, along with that, they got strong enemies like Pilaf and his henchmen Mai and Shu, who were defeated by Goku turned back into the giant ape, destroying their entire castle. And shortly after the victory, Goku finds out about a martial arts tournament, and although his first reaction was one of a cheer, he soon remembers the promise he and his brother made. After reminding everyone of his promise, Jingu just places his right hand on his shoulder, in a sign of "it's okay." And after saying how much this adventure helped him to enjoy and discover more about the world, he concluded that he wasn't ready to go back to his daily routine yet, and that perhaps it would be good for them to come back later, especially since his little brother, he didn't seem to want to go back yet. Upon hearing this, Goku asked if their grandfather would agree to all of this, and after stroking his messy hair a little, Jingo said that he would tell Gohan that they would take a little longer to return, because as his brother wanted to fight in the martial arts tournament, it would not be a very mature attitude to deprive him of having fun. And that opened a huge smile on Goku's face, who quickly threw himself at his brother and hugged him very tightly, catching the flying cloud and going to the Kami Island to start training. While Jingo returned to his home in Paozu Mountain to warn his grandfather that although he thought Gohan might be disappointed, he thought it was really cool that they wanted to continue exploring the world, and even said that it would be good if he went with him to the West City, since that's where his friends are, which made Jingo much happier. And so he and his grandfather went to the city, while Goku trained under Roshi's jurisdiction, which led him to improve his Kamehameha skills and meet his best friend, Krillin. During their stay in West City, Bulma invited Jingo and Gohan to live in one of their houses inside her family's company, the Capsule Corporation, and a little embarrassed, Jingo ends up thanking her immensely, who as a way of compensating for his favor of accompanying her on the adventure of the spheres. She asks him if he would like to study with her, since she knows that neither he nor his little brother has ever been in a school before. And not knowing what that is, he decides to just stay at home helping the doing some everyday tasks, which made Bulma a little frustrated, and to take her anger out, she made an excuse that he needed new clothes, as she didn't want to be seen walking around with a person who only looks like she wears one. But yeah, of course, it was all a trick for him to carry out her groceries. But when they were returning to her house, a group of bandits tried to rob them, but they were surprised by Jingo, who without any effort managed to send them flying into an alley. Of course, measuring his strength to avoid deaths and serious injuries, which made Bulma admire him even more, not only for having defended her, but for simply punishing the bad guys without them getting serious bruises, and that made they become more connected. After a year, the tournament finally started. And there, in addition to Goku's reunion with his friends, there was also Roshi's reunion with Gohan. And while Goku was looking forward to fighting with his brother, he said that he would not participate, that he just wanted to see him fight so they could know how much stronger he got. And so while Goku, Yamcha, and Krillin entered with 5 other unknown competitors, Jingo and the others were looking for a place to watch the tournament, but they found it strange that the Master Roshi wasn't there. And during the second fight, he and his grandfather started to get suspicious of the mysterious Jackie Chun, who seemed to be a little older than he should be, even more so for having defeated Yamcha so easily without laying a finger. And the suspicions are only concluded when, defeating Krillin, the mysterious figure uses a Kamehameha to avoid falling out of the ring, but they decide not to tell so that they know why. When Goku finally reaches the finals, Jackie Chan begins to fight, and while everyone seemed mesmerized by Jackie's skills, Jingo warned Goku where he was going to attack, and this ended up giving him a certain advantage against the master, but not enough so that he could prevent the drunken fist of the same, which resulted in Goku having trouble dodging and by accident turned into a giant ape and almost destroyed the entire arena, being prevented by Jackie Chan destroying the moon, making him turn into normal, but without memory and completely naked. After the tournament is over, the mysterious figure decides to invite everyone to a snack that he would pay for with the money he won from the tournament, which almost runs out due to the almost inexhaustible hunger of the two brothers. After they finish eating, Goku says that he's still curious to explore the world further. After they finish eating, Goku says that he is still curious to explore the world, and even with Jingo saying that they might have been far longer than they should be away from home, Gohan accepts and says that it wouldn't be good for them to simply stop discovering the world just because of a silly promise. And with that said, Goku says goodbye once again to his friends and climbing on the flying cloud begins to travel in search of adventures. To be continued. So hey, what do you believe and what do you imagine about all of this? Regardless of what it is more than important that you arrive exposing it in your comments so that we can enter into the crazy debate. Don't forget to click the like button, subscribe here to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss any videos. And that's it for today. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.